Which is better, the 8K Insta360 Ace Pro or the GoPro Hero 12? Let's compare them side by side. I'm also going to show you comparisons with the Ace Pro's little brother, the Insta360 Ace with 6K. Let's get started. First, let's compare in daylight. At 4K 30 FPS, the Hero 12 and Ace Pro look very similar, with Ace Pro having slightly more detail. At maximum resolution, Ace Pro's 8K mode is far more detailed than Hero 12's 5.3K mode. I also compared the Hero 12 against the Ace Pro's little brother. The Ace's 6K mode has more detail than Hero 12's 5.3K mode as well. At 4K 120 FPS, the Ace Pro has more contrast, although the amount of actual detail is about the same as the Hero 12. At 240 FPS, the Hero 12 can record at 2.7K and is more detailed than the Ace Pro's 1080p at 240 FPS. In low light, Ace Pro's Pure View mode has less noise and more accurate colors than Hero 12. In standard video mode, Hero 12's 5.3K video has less noise, but also has less detail and worse stabilization than the Ace Pro's 8K mode. How about you? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Now, besides image quality, the Ace Pro and the Ace also have other cool features. Here are the ones that I like best, but I also want to talk about my biggest complaints. So this flip screen is really useful for vlogging. Not only is it easier to see, but it's also easier to control because it's a touch screen. And I can also frame my shots from high or low angles. But one drawback is that when you're shooting for action, leaving the screen open increases the risk of damage to your camera. Now, one of the most common complaints I've heard about Insta360 is the 15-second gap when you record for longer than 30 minutes. Well, the Ace Pro and the Ace are the first Insta360 cameras to not have a gap even with long recordings. So it does still make multiple files and each one is about 30 minutes long, but when you import them into Insta360 Studio, Studio will recognize that they are part of the same recording and will merge them automatically with no gaps. There's going to be a slight dip in the volume, but it lasts for like less than a second. Alright, so here's one complaint. 8-bit video. Both the GoPro Hero 12 and DJI Action 4 can shoot in 10-bit video, but the Ace Pro and Ace can only shoot in 8-bit. Now, here's something I like with the Ace Pro. Clarity zoom. This means that when you're shooting in 4K with the Ace Pro, you can zoom in at 2x and still get full resolution 4K. Another feature I really like is pause recording. This means that you can pause the recording so that you can edit on the fly while shooting. And while the video is paused, you can also change the settings such as exposure or field of view. Number 3, cancel recording. This is a huge time saver because I make a lot of mistakes when I vlog. With cancel recording, I can just hold down the record button so that it will stop the recording and delete it at the same time. No need to go back and hunt for the right take. Next, highlights. This is going to make your editing job so much easier. When you make a long recording, you can just choose the parts that you want to keep, or you can let the AI select the highlights for you. Next, background downloading. So you might know that Insta360 cameras can let you edit without having to download the videos. But with this new feature, you can also download the videos in the background. You can even switch to a different app like surf the web if you want. All right, back to complaints. Let's talk about the mount. See, the Ace Pro and the Ace don't have a built-in mount. Instead, they have this magnetic mount. And it sounds good in theory, but it's kind of hard to really insert it. You have to push hard for it to click into place. And if you don't do it correctly, you might think that it's attached, but it's actually not, and your camera might fall. Not only that, but when it's time to remove it, it's kind of hard. You have to squeeze these buttons really hard. And I can imagine that like when you're wearing gloves on a ski slope, it might be a little bit challenging. The Hero 12's mount is so much easier to use. I mean, you have like GoPro folding fingers that fold flush to the body of the camera, and they come out when you need them and fold away when you don't. And there's also a built-in quarter 20 tripod. I wish the Ace Pro and Ace had something like this. Another feature I really like with the Hero 12 is the QR code system. This lets me use special functions simply by scanning a QR code with the Hero 12. So it's really convenient because I can use functions like syncing time code, for example. I wish the Ace Pro and Ace would have something like that. All right, back to cool features. Motion ND. I really love this. This is like having an ND filter. It adds motion blur to your videos, but not the entire video, just the parts that have motion. So it's just like a real ND filter. Another cool feature, gestures. This means you can control the Ace Pro and Ace simply by using gestures. I've also suggested to Insta360 to add the gesture to cancel recording. All right, here's another one. Insta360 stats. You know how you can add GPS overlays to your video with Insta360 stats? Well, now you can do it also with Apple Watch or Garmin devices. So you don't need to be limited to your phone or GPS remote. Next, invisible selfie stick. So this feature was inspired by DJI's Invisi stick. So this means that they're going to erase the selfie stick from your video. It looks really cool, makes it look like a third-person video. The difference from DJI's Invisi stick is this one is not limited to 1080p. And supposedly you should be able to do it without uploading your video to the cloud. And finally, there's AI Warp, which lets you add generative AI effects synced with music to your videos. Now, the Ace Pro and Ace have several other features that I haven't mentioned in this video, but these are the biggest ones that stand out to me. So which do you prefer, GoPro Hero 12 or Insta360 Ace Pro? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in 360.